and then we ended up being like feeling like we were being scammed, and Edwina was like, oh, why haven't you looked this up? Like, we're falling out about like money, and we're falling out about like, oh, we were getting lost and we didn't know what we were doing.
Hey everyone, I'm Edwina. I am the co-founder of APOP. Don't even know why I continue to introduce myself like this is the first video I'm ever filming. But this week we are filming a very fun and exciting video. So Hannah is also in this video, and we figured it's been so long since we've seen each other. Obviously we've not been able to film together, so we wanted to do a little game. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Americans, it's the Newly Wed game, and I think in England it's Mr. and Mrs., as Hannah has told me. And so basically what we're gonna do is I'm gonna answer 10 questions and Hannah's gonna answer the same 10 questions, and we're gonna see how many we get right. And I encourage you to do this with your APOP best friend or your au pair best friend or your best friend in general, and tag them down below and play this game and see if you get it right. Just a way to get us all to feel connected during this hard time. And before we get into the game, I do want to say check out our website for our digital events. We started them this month, and they have been going so well, and the APOP community is getting together online through Zoom, so that's super cool. And on Instagram as well, with pub quizzes and running clubs. I host a biking and running club on Sundays. We have Thursday night open chats and drinks. It's just so fun to see everyone getting together despite COVID. Okay, with that, I'm going to answer some questions now about my friendship with Hannah.
So question 1, when did you know you were best friends? It's a pretty hard one. I think for me, I thought we were best friends sooner than Edwina thought we were best friends, because I remember being at her tiny little chambre de bonne and her being like, I'm just gonna phone my best friend Sade, and I was like, oh, I thought I was your best friend.
I think I actually told Hannah this recently, but it's kind of a moment for me. We actually talked about this on the podcast, Pugs and Unicorns, so definitely check out that podcast. It's a whole mix of like random stuff and random advice, but for me, the moment that I knew Hannah was my best friend was the moment she mentioned that she also watches this YouTuber named Miranda Sings, who is honestly one of the weirdest YouTubers. She's this impressionist, or she's an impersonator, not even an impersonator. She just made up this crazy character, and it's just a niche thing. Look it up and you'll know what I'm talking about when I say that it's weird. And the minute Hannah also said that she watches that, I was like, oh my gosh, someone lives in my little corner of the universe. All right, question 2. What was the first film you ever saw together?
We watched a movie when we were backpacking. Southeast Asia watched
Pirates of the Caribbean. But I don't think that was our first movie. I think our first movie was like Twilight. I think we watched Twilight together, or we just know Twilight really well. No, I'm gonna go with Pirates of the Caribbean. I think that was our first movie that we ever saw together.
What was the first film you saw together? Oh, we had a period of time where we'd go to the cinema with like another au pair friend of ours, and I remember we used to like choose really random weird films because they would be like the only ones that were in English at the time in this one cinema, and I think it was called like The Stars of Our Mind or like something so weird, and we came out of it and we were like, that was the weirdest film we've ever seen. I'm pretty sure that was the first film we saw together. Question number 3 is, what is the song of your friendship? So I would say Love on Top by Beyonce, because it reminds me of when we were like first friends and I would go over to her place, and it was such a nice Parisian apartment with like gorgeous big open windows, and there'd be no one in all day, and we just used to like blast music and sing it like crazy.
Easy. When we were au pairs, we used to spend afternoons in my family's apartment in the 17th arrondissement, and just taking advantage of their huge space that we had to ourselves. And we would sing Beyonce, Love on Top all day, just like shouting at the top of our lungs. I don't know how we didn't kill my neighbor's ears, but easy, easy. And now Hannah always makes me watch like visual albums that Beyonce comes out with. Oh my gosh, I can't believe Hannah asked me this question. Where was your biggest fight? Oh, easy. We don't fight, well, Hannah and I are very rational fighters, and a lot of the time it's because we're really, really stressed that we're fighting, so we're able to like take that out and like compartmentalize the fact that we're mad but still be friends at the same time that we're fighting. It's really weird. But we did have like a little tiff when we were in Thailand. But it's funny because when we were traveling Southeast Asia, we had like a tiff about, I don't know what it was about, but we fought anyway. And it was funny because we still opted to eat dinner with each other, but in silence. It's like we're those types of friends that would rather be mad at each other in silence than apart. Comment down below if you feel that way with your best friend.
Where was your biggest fight? Actually, the most memorable fight would probably be in Cambodia, where I had been working, but Edwina had asked me to like look certain things up, and then I just like dropped the ball. It was definitely my fault, but I'd been working and I didn't look these things up, and then we ended up being like feeling like we were being scammed, and Edwina was like, oh, why haven't you looked this up? Like, we're falling out about like money, and we're falling out about like, oh, we were getting lost and we didn't know what we were doing. We were on our way to Angkor Wat. It was very impressive place to fall out. And when we finally got there, we were both like in such bad moods, and we were just kind of like sat silently, like really angry with each other, even though I was definitely in the wrong. Question 5 is, what are you most likely to fight about? And for most of you viewers, you probably wouldn't suspect this, but the thing that Edwina and I would say have fought about the most throughout our entire friendship is APOP. We like struggled writing the book. It's really hard starting a business together. We've had like problems with like legal side of things and taxes, and oh god, like the book basically was the biggest problem, and then we were falling out about like just all those kind of things. But luckily we'll start like arguing over text and like texting each other like, why have you done that? I don't understand why you've done that. And then like 10 minutes later one of us will call the other one, and we'll kind of be quite like nice to each other. I would say there have only been a few instances where we've been like shouting, and then after that it's pretty much resolved quite quickly, which is something that I love about our friendship for sure. What
are you most likely to fight about? What are we most likely to fight about? I think that Hannah's gonna say something like APOP.
APOP.
Only because we have like, sometimes we have different ways of working, which like is funny. But I'm gonna say, I think we're most likely to fight because I'm always running late or kind of just irresponsible in some ways. And like Hannah is super, super like on time and on top of like agenda items. I'm very responsible in like many ways, but like in terms of running on time, I'm never on time, and like I'm always really chill in situations where you should probably be a little bit more stressed. And when I'm traveling with Hannah, or when I'm in situations like that with Hannah, she'll freak out and like get mad at me. So if there's ever a reason to fight, it's probably that. Moving on, these are my questions, which are a little bit different, but who has the worst handwriting? That would be me. Hannah's handwriting has always been consistent, and she's such a writer that I like love her handwriting. I think it's beautiful. Hannah, write me a letter. She hasn't written me a letter in so long. Comment down below to get Hannah to write me a letter, please.
Who has the worst handwriting? I would say we both have similarly not the best handwriting. Neither of us have like gorgeous handwriting. I'm going to say Edwina has the worst handwriting though, because I want to say I have the worst handwriting. what celebrity couple are you most like? Edwina always puts in these questions where it's like, oh, what celebrity couple are you like? We are not dating. But celebrity friendship, I would say we're probably most like, I don't know, I really like the dynamic between like Monica and Rachel, where one of them is just like quite uptight and the other one is just like really silly. But then Edwina, I guess I'm probably the uptight one actually when it comes to things like travel and stuff. But I have no idea who she's gonna say to that, like at all. But I'm gonna go with Monica and Rachel, even though they're not a couple. Monica and Chandler then, because Edwina's hilarious.
What celebrity couple are you most like? This was a silly question because I don't know any celebrities, but I'm gonna say, just because we both like Friends, I'm gonna say Chandler and Monica, even though that's not that accurate. But I'm just gonna say Chandler. Oh no, I'm gonna say Broad City, Abby and Alana. Abby and Alana for sure. What's Hannah's most prized possession or the item she'd save in a fire apart from me? Easy, I think her laptop. She loves her laptop. She got a MacBook a few years ago, and like after that, she just turned into a computer person. She was never a tech person, and then she got her MacBook and life completely changed.
What's Edwina's most prized possession or the item she'd save in a fire? I have no idea. Edwina is not very materialistic at all. Oh god. Oh, I would say her journals actually. I reckon she would definitely save like her journals, because that's a lot of time and money and well, not money, a lot of time and effort's gone into those. Who is the better driver? That question is so obviously Edwina. I'm an awful driver. I haven't driven a manual car since I was learning to drive when I was 17, and then I haven't actually driven a car, like any car, like an automatic, since I was like 20. I'm now 26. It's been a long time since I've driven, and Edwina drives every day, so obviously Edwina's the better driver.
Who is the better driver? Me. Hannah can't drive for her life. I don't even know why I asked that, so easy. Who would win in a game of Monopoly? I think both of us would stop playing after about 40 minutes tops and just give up and not care who won, because we wouldn't even be paying attention. Or maybe that's just me, and in that case Hannah would win, but I really do think, I don't even think we would opt to play Monopoly ever. I think we both hate it. I hate it, and I just am assuming Hannah feels the same way.
Who would win in a game of Monopoly? We would both get bored so fast. Neither of us would play properly. We'd end up being like, oh, I'm so bored. Let's go and get coffee. You can win, I don't care. Like, quits. Like, let's just say we both win, whatever. If they were on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, who would their phone a friend be? Answer for both people. Oh, I don't know. I think I would probably end up phoning my boyfriend. I reckon Edwina would phone her dad, actually. Her dad's got some pretty useful pearls of wisdom. Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Last question. If Hannah was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, who would be their phone a friend? Hannah would call her boyfriend Joe, who's super knowledgeable about random things, and I would also call Joe, because he's my go-to for that kind of stuff too.
Thanks so much for watching. That is all 10 questions. Hopefully we have the same answers. I'll see. And if you want more au pair content, then please like and subscribe. Check out our website and follow us on Instagram, where we have lots of interesting and cool events going on for this month. So you'll have to head over there to find out more. And that's all for now. Ciao.